very entertaining players. While they might not have the craziest micro of a Lin and a Happy, they are incredibly smart and, as I said, incredibly entertaining. So Labby is basically your favorite undead's favorite undead. He is influencing the scene a lot for years. He was the first to really establish the Undead Fast expansion. He was the first to bring the Dreadlord back to a super high level after Side paved the way. And yeah, he loves to do that. Fast expansion is his thing. And Soin, wait a minute, that's a Blade Master. I was about to say, oh, yes. Soin likes to go fast, see a Headhunter, yada yada. But it's Blade Master Mass Headhunter?
Okay, we're up for a treat, I feel. We're up for a treat. He got the Sacrificial Skull, and also he got the Rod of Necromancy. Blade Master straight coming over with Windwalk, and also got the Circle of Nobility, selling his Town Portal. There will be endless Headhunters coming our way. We also see that Labby already got the Priest from the other side of the map. That will take some time. First creep is being stolen. The Ziggurat is going down, needs to be cancelled, and it got cancelled. So he at least got the refund on that one. And now he needs to get rid of the creeps first before he can actually put something down. Yeah, the Ogre is already mad, hitting a couple things. The Blade Master is coming back into action. He will have a tough time getting that expo up, according to my understanding.
That is a pretty good understanding if you ask me. Every time you cancel a building, that goes into recesses.
Yeah, without the dust, he cannot sleep him and cannot kill the Ogre, and he can do this a couple more times. The Blade Master still has 2 more Windwalks. Now we see that the LabyRinth is coming in with the Shadow Priest, but yeah, is he taking a gamble, or is he just like dancing? I like the dance lesson so far. This can go on and on and on. Now he sleeps him finally and can get a closing kill.
Oh!
And he almost stole it with the Headhunter Spear, or did he?
Nah, I did not. Skeleton Warrior got it just a second before. I thought the same. The projectile was like inches away from this Ogre Magi. It's a hot dance so far.
Dude, this kid is crazy.
Both of them. Blade Master Headhunters. They saw you in the lobby and they wanted to provide some special entertainment after an hour of Bear Mirror.
Oh, nice. So the Blade Master has no shop to return to. He hasn't even started a shop yet, which is yeah, quite wonderful.
It's at the tavern.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just blind.
It comes with age, dude. It happens to the best of us.
Totally. So how do we go from here? He has the Frost Tower coming up. The Expo has not been started yet. He's not teching. He gets more and more ghouls. Ghouls are horrible against Headhunters. Let's face it. Other than that, we have more Headhunters. 29 supply against 28 supply. So that is at least equal. He can now heal back up, can use a couple more Windwalks. Frost Tower is going to help immensely with the Priest healing. I like it. It's actually pretty cool, keeping everything nice and tidy, as well as helping with rejuvenating. He needs a rod, desperately. But he's taking it head on.
Shop here would be amazing. Just focus fire as the Blade Master. He's of course an agility hero, but not that stacked and only level 1. Another sleep might prevent the Windwalk, but doesn't want to spam mana as it's a rare resource. Gets to surround the trees, catching more strays with the blade. I think Labby is... Oh, sleep!
Yeah, but he... Oh! Come on, Fireball!
Oh my god! Got him. And now we got Carrion Swarm versus Headhunters. What a sick game this is.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up yet, but we're gonna have it someday. Killing that Blade Master is crucial in getting the expansion up. I mean, he has tons of Headhunters taking a peek. Blade Master level 1 will be back. He's teching now, so countermeasures are getting the tech in. I actually like it. I think there's not too much that he can do. No, he does not. He's not allowed to run into the Frost Tower. Everything that he gets hit by Frost. And yeah, by the way, your Carrion Swarm dreams are on hold for now as we see Vampiric Aura kicking in.
Unbelievable. I mean... Okay, maybe he saw also that his mana bar was super low and wants to have some value of level 2. Understandable. Soin playing StarCraft for a bit, but Blade Master is back. But yeah, he's constantly running into that narrow. 50% movement speed reduction. That it's like hitting your 30s.
That is hitting your 30s metabolism-wise. You are just screwed, especially if you're not taking coffee into consideration. And now we have the ghouls streaming for the Headhunters who are being ensnared, or at least one Dreadlord is coming back in with a rod. I think that is really helpful. Kills a Headhunter. That is good. Blade Master also back in the middle of it. Is he able to kill that ghoul without a wind walk? That would be so important to get closer or even get level 2 from that one. He lets him escape. He miscalculated for a second, so that ghoul gets out, which is good for Labby. The expansion is fully saturated and he started tech immediately. So he's trying to catch up with the tech of Soin, who's already about to have tier 2 available to him. Necropole is now being used. He might also be adding a shop sooner or later. Another end snare is harsh. He should just let go of that camp by now. Skeletons are coming in. Headhunter dies. Level 2 for our Blade Master friend. Ghouls are being sent back to the base. Or not. Or yes. Giving high fives to the Murloc and then going back. Killing yet another Headhunter with the sleep surround. That was beautiful. I like that guy.
Right?
He's like a crazy scientist.
He absolutely is. So far it's even trades, but even trades of course go in the favor of Labby because of that expo. And now Soin has like 2 choices, I guess, to double down on this attack or to counter expand at some point while harassing with the blade. That might work. Shadowhunter, Raider, Walker. It's also something you don't see every day. But yeah, I don't know how people can not like Labby. He brings
Crazy.
very, very fresh air to the scene. Good mind.
Korean hate, love, anger.
Korean hate, love, anger. True. Good old Tim Gable. Greetings.
Greetings to the man himself, who will not have any time watching this with 3 kids at home.
Oh, we got 3 now. You're still in touch with him.
They always come in. Yeah, every now and then. Rarely, but yeah, he is still existing. I love the guy.
How can you not?
True. Oh, no, actually the Dreadlord needs to be careful here, taking a couple blows from the Blade Master, who now has critical strike accessible to him. And with that, he becomes very powerful, especially as the Shadowhunter comes out. I think the Dreadlord is under severe problems here. Running away, blocking the Shadowhunter nicely. That uses his speed scroll to catch up with the Dreadlord, but being blocked with the ghouls. Labby, beautiful execution, getting out of there. If anything would have like gone wrong, he would have been up for a treat. The Skeletons, in the meantime, taking a couple blows at the Headhunter, which is quite nicely putting them into like red HP. And Dreadlord escapes and survives for tier 3 tech and more ghouls coming our way.
I wonder if he's just massing ghouls with that. Double racks could just do it. I mean, do you need fiends? Not really. You're up against raiders and headhunters. You have the advantageous damage type. They kind of melt against walkers though, so that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, so far, pure brawling. Soin has to think about his next steps here.
I think it's really powerful, especially with that army composition that you were just describing that is coming out of Soin. If you go Frenzy Ghouls and you have a DK with an Unholy Aura at some point, you will just be chewing through this army. Then you need a little bit of dispo coming from like the statues and providing some healing, turning them into destroyers in case you want to get rid of that Spirit Link. And then all of a sudden you have this like ultimate death ball that's just like eating you alive. Like the Zerglin storming onto you. First attack upgrade as well coming in now, which just proves our point that he wants to rely on this. He will get rid of the shop in the middle at some point. He's chipping away a little every now and then, sending a skeleton. So I think he will have no shop. Soin should be thinking forward and maybe revisiting that part and building a shop in his base. Or repairing it in the middle of the map. He's sending, or he's actually building another Voodoo launch in his base. And might be creep checking him now.
Okay then, at the mercenary camp, this could get wonky. He has of course a TP again after repurchasing it. And ghouls at this stage, not super powerful. Nice timing, Blade Master level 3. No mirror image, but Windwalk crit, gets 2 kills and the TP and the big loot.
Yeah, we're too early for him to have an actual fight, so a good call here by Soin to invade that side of his map, or the map of his opponent, and steal a couple of experience and important item choices here that can be gotten from these drops. What is it?
Ring of Regen.
Regen. I love it. A lot of people have a hate relationship with that item. I loved it from the start.
Dude, Hawk said it's a C tier item. Absolutely delusional. Yeah. What a clown.
I mean, as much as Hawk is amazing, I think he doesn't get the value of a ring. That's a proper ring.
That's right. Okay, attack with Spirit Link, hard to get rid of unless you're on tier 3 for now, until we finally get this Wand of Negation as the undead dispel in the next patch.
crazy. Okay, let's see how that comes. Perfect timing actually here by Soin. That is the fight that you want to have before Destroyer and before Ghoul Frenzy. I think this is amazing. No Lich yet, no Orb yet, nothing on the field that can really harm you. Nonetheless, he will be able with the sheer forces to kill a couple things here without having Dispel or anything accessible. He has a Rod, which is really powerful, can be dispelled at a certain point here by the Spirit Walkers. So far, I think it would be amazing to also have Carrion Swarm, which he hasn't had the chance to reskill yet. Dreadlord in the middle of the fun is now being surrounded here. Blade Master is going at him, being healed at the meantime, losing a couple units and killing a couple things here from Soin. I'm not sure who comes out ahead, but he's chewing through him slowly.
I guess so. Ghouls seem overwhelming. It looked quite good for Soin for a long time, but then a lot of units starting to fall, and there was no speed scroll, no TP to get out. No mana anymore. This is usually the time to retreat for an orc, and I wouldn't have minded if he counter-expands at this point with the 600 gold he has, but he rather goes for the tier 3 and then maybe a tiny, but this is 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes where he can just run, and Labby can replenish his forces in no time, gets another sleep out, gets another surround in. Can he keep it closed? Oh, maybe he doesn't have to. Destroyer is out, dispels all that sweet Spirit Link, and does tremendous damage now. So it needs a little miracle here.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure if he's not overcommitting LabyRinth. I mean, it's just a level 1 DK, not too powerful. As much as he can sleep things with the Dreadlord, he doesn't really pack a punch yet with the lack of Carrion Swarm. He might be able to kill a couple things. He has Ghoul Frenzy, he has the Destroyers in the air, killing more and more of that army. I mean, maybe slowly it's coming together and he is able to just flood him as the Shadowhunter ran out of mana. Level 4 finally for LabyRinth here, closing in now on the Spirit Walkers, killing them. In the meantime, the Blade Master killed the DK. First Spirit Walker is down, Blade Master back to the party. But yeah, he should be thinking about an expansion, but that is far off his chances at the moment because he doesn't have tier 3 yet. He cannot get an Orb, he cannot get tier 3 Headhunters. He can have a very potent army in a minute or two, but that seems far away. Shade is coming in, more ghouls are steaming in, we have a couple of more statues being added to the army. The Lich is finally joining the forces. The Tri-Hero will be there in a couple seconds, and with that, yeah, it can be the end of Soin's dreams, at least on Echo Isles.
I guess so. If he retreats there prior to the last fight, then he had like 600 gold and tier 3 is around the corner. But then he lost like 4 units and he has to rebuild them, and now he doesn't have the 600 gold anymore for the counter expansion. Maybe a bit too aggressive. Maybe he thought he can't run away from sleep, which is arguably hard, especially with the Lich coming in. At least the DK is benched. That's a good thing running for him. Blade Master gets an Orb, is nicely equipped, but Labby, if you take both expansion camps and both mercenary camps, you're in a good spot on Echo Isles.
Yeah, and Labby is keeping tabs on his opponent with the Shade now, finding him in the middle, seeing what he's doing, comfortably creeping the merchant camp here, gaining more and more experience on the Lich, so we already have a level 2 Lich now being added. DK is still, yeah, on level 1. That is a little sad. He needs one more creep to have level 2, and then the aura. That is like missing for the ghouls to just connect faster, especially with the Headhunters. Headhunters are now tier 3 and they're colliding in the middle of the map.
Ooh, so many ghouls. Ay. Nova hits hard, makes it easy for the ghouls to really connect. Statue getting caught on the right-hand side with full mana. That's a little bit of a whoopsie-doopsie, but 12 ghouls, 13 ghouls. How are you supposed to stop that without any kind of AoE? There's no TC, really. There's no Chain Lightning. There's little he can do. And they all regenerate so fast with the Vampora, which is now quite a nice pick. I would still love to see Carrion Swarm, but that's just me being a Carrion Swarm aficionado. Blade Master put some good damage on the Destros, but they're still part of the fight, and Spirit Link holds no value in these situations.
Yeah, Blade Master alone cannot do it as much as he's killing ghouls. Also, the undead heroes are gaining more and more XP by disassembling the entire Orc army here. I mean, he lost his ghouls. He only stands with a couple destroyers and the 3 heroes. Might be even losing that statue. So the sleep is just annoying, but so far Soin is dealing beautifully with this. Either dispelling it or hitting his own unit to just wake it up. More and more Headhunters are coming. It's now disengaging from the fight. He wants a little bit of alone time just to make sure that he has some time to actually get mana on the Shadowhunter, but yeah, Labby is going to use that and is going to get level 5 on the Dreadlord if he gets the top camp.
Give it to me, baby. Aha. Muddy goes down, that's always sad, but aligning with the creeps is what it does to you. Coil Nova not super powerful, so we see it we don't see it too much on heroes, but against units, it's still super good. Blade Master critical strike also putting a dent. And here we got level 3 critical strike. Soin's still fighting.
Soin still fighting. He loses the Kodo. That was a good pickup here. Really important to get rid of the aura. Kills the last Spirit Walker, so no more Link or Dispel. Link was not applied due to the nature of the destroyers. But now, with the Kodo disappearing and also a couple more units being added here, he has the chance to get to the Headhunters, kill more and more of those. Level 5 Dreadlord with the level 3 Sleep. And now, as you can see, where it's not intercepted, because the units are being driven away from the Blade Master, he is basically standing there taking a nap on the battlefield.
That's right. You shouldn't do that, I guess. But he had the mana in the meantime, you know, taking a little break, gather your forces, and get out. Headhunter still up there, but only 36. It's all on the shoulders of a Blade Master, but he'll be slept the entire time. Sleep is so cheap right now. There should be a lot of damage mitigation. Lots of claws in the mix as well. And man, we need these big red numbers, but there's not too much damage uptime for the Blade.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget he's fighting versus an expansion for the last 10 to 15 minutes. So basically fighting against 2 gold mine income. He's keeping up with it. He's taking quite a fight and packing quite a punch here, trying to get rid of the destroyers now, but needs to shift gears and also get rid of the ghouls first, so this Headhunters can actually do some work. With the purchase coming in, he keeps the destroyer in the position for the Blade Master to kill yet another destroyer. Shadowhunter is closing in on level 5. That might be interesting, but as he's running out of mana, he needs to be careful here. Sustain is not given. Shadowhunter being slapped now, which means he will not be able to heal yet, interrupting it again. I mean, I cannot state how hard this is in the middle of all the action, but now the Shadowhunter might be surrounded, and with that might be the end of the game.
No TP, no invul. He's fighting his way out. Blade Master to the rescue. Another sleep. Can he connect? He's trying to hug his SH, but the coil seals the deal. Avada Kedavra by Labby, and now Nova in the middle of it all. I feel like this point Soin has given up a little bit already. LabyRinth takes map number 1 for Team Kaho.
The mad scientist proving his value and incredible strategy. I mean, it's really hard to get an expansion off against an Orc player, and I think the Blade Master was a slight gamble, but that was intercepting the expansion quite nicely with the Windwalk, and he also was not calculating for this. Other than that, he would probably bought Dust, which makes it way easier to just sleep it and get rid of the Ogre Magi. And then with the expansion that was attacked at the right moment without Frenzy and Destroyer upgrade, that was actually really strong. I think Labby was hesitating. He didn't know how to engage and what to do, but he engaged nonetheless. Like, he brought everything that he had and was able to steer that fight quite well without losing too much, especially his heroes. And then once he was able to set foot on Frenzy and the Destroyer upgrade, he could just disassemble the army. And as you said, he had 600 gold. He could have just disengaged, get the expansion up, maybe a tower or 2, reinforcement in the mix. That would have been probably a good backup scenario, but he wanted to, just keep going, like steaming the engine and making sure that you just pour through. But yeah, that was not given. Labby maintaining his cool and getting more and more ghouls, sleeping the Blade Master consecutively. But you can't say what you want, like Soin's micro, that was insane.
Right?
Keeping his Blade Master awake, that was so good.
And isn't it beautiful that we live in a meta where this is the second Undead versus Orc we're witnessing? And in one game, we get DK Lich Dark Ranger versus Farseer Mass Air. And then an hour later, we have Blade Master Dreadlord.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that everything is viable is kind of like a good indication that we're heading into the right kind of like mix, also balance-wise. And that is just good to know. I mean, that is just amazing. I'm not sure if I'm joining the game or it was it a join bug?
Was a bug again. Yep. Gotta restart. Gives me some time.
But yeah, I was smiling on one comment from chat, and that is quite amazing. Where is it? Let me look it up. False advertising it was. I cannot find it right now. But this the Shadowhunter is not able to detect shades. That is quite some false advertising. I like that. That really stood out.
True, actually. Never thought about it. Chat's so smart. Chat's so creative.
Yeah, H0. That's his name. That's a good comment. I love that.
I love more subs for the channel. Thank you very much, Link, 44 month. Great to see yAwS casting again. And MonkeyBomb21 with 6 months. The only reason I log into Twitch. Thanks for the streams. Thank you, MonkeyBomb.
Amazing. I mean, if you haven't hit the follow button, please do, guys. We are on to the next, I feel. It's going to be Tidehunters, LabyRinth against Soin, map number 2.
Here, I wonder if Soin is going for a Blade Master again. It's usually quite a Farseer map, but Soin is a bit mad and loves his blade. We love to see Soin with the blade. And Labby, he has a chance for fast expansion here, as Tidehunters has the easiest fast expansion in all of Warcraft. So usually I'm the prophet. Usually I know what's up. I predicted the Night Elf Mirror pretty much perfectly, I gotta say. But here, I got no clue what these madmen are cooking up.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe he's throwing you a curveball. Maybe we're going to see some Shadowhunter after all with some Serpent boards. Who knows? But as he is not opening with a barracks, nor like... oh, actually, there's the Womel. So we probably had for Farseer Headhunter composition. But yeah, he was mixing it up before. So let's see that we what we get here in the end. Already getting a 6th Acolyte prior to putting a shop down, which is still nicely timed up with the Altar of Darkness. So he wants to scout on his opponent to see what he's actually doing, with the barracks going down for Soin. So everything is just in line with the Headhunter production, setting that one up, paying a close look at the altar, and it's going to be the Farseer that you stated earlier. With more ghouls and hopefully an exciting hero choice coming yet again from Labby, which is not so exciting. It's just a DK.
Just a DK. So I praise the variety that we have in the matchup, and then they go back to the first series. Understandably so, especially from Soin's side, who is trailing in this series. Farseer, very, very good on this map. It's a small map. It's a lot of brawling in the middle around the green turtle spots and the shop. And of course, the merchant. And then you have summons and you have a lot of damage, and then you might be able to take the fight early on. But things can turn around quite quickly with a Dark Ranger, as we've seen in Happy Sands on Terraner's stand. So that's kinda similar in that regard. But maybe Soin is a little bit smarter than Soin was before, than Focus was before, and retreats so the Black Arrow can't connect. Everybody's game. Just Soin has to win this, and for Labby it was just be good to win this. It is definitely Soin's map choice, so he should be the favorite, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to fairly creep your Farseer here and gain some experience. I mean, the same can be said about the DK, but the level 2 wolves, they really make a difference, while the level 2 coil in the mid game kind of like prevents you from going too deep into someone's base, especially an undead base with a frost tower, and then it might be risking like a coil to the head. While the level 2 wolf just set you up and your second hero up for like great creeping, if that's the plan here. Let's see how it unfolds. Both of the players are just going for the creeping so far. Labby probably just trying to go for level 2. He also sold his town portal and got himself a ritual dagger, an item that gets like not really the appreciation that people expected from it, I feel. But nonetheless, it's really powerful to actually heal yourself and set yourself up for some good ghoul creeping. He goes for the turtle to get the level 2, while on the other side you can see Soin wants to clear the expansion really early.
Alright, both will hit level 2 in no time. Yeah, you're 100% right with the ritual dagger. It enables the ghoul play that we see in 2024 with all the rotations. Also a bit of uptime. Just have to sacrifice the skeleton and then you're back at full HP alongside Unholy Aura. And these turtles here with their medium armor, they're super easy to creep for these ghouls, and then you sacrifice the skelly and you're back in fighting shape. So far, good creep route by Labby.
Yeah, just taking a little bit unnecessary damage on his DK, but I mean the aura is going to recoup for that, as well as the ritual dagger that will just help with the healing. There you go. So just steering that camp and getting major experience and getting super close to level 3 already is amazing for us to see. The Farseer now might be running into us around if he's not careful, but of course Soin is keeping his taps, cancelling the healing on the DK. That was good, but taking him a couple hits on the Farseer. The shop is not there yet. He immediately puts it down, seeing that his hero is falling a little short, and now he just can watch Labby clearing his camp, but he steals it with a chain light. I was not expecting that. I thought he's going to close it out with a coil, but that would have been his level 3, while it's now the level 3 for our beautiful friend Soin on the Orcish side.
Exactly. And with all that range army, he can put more shots into the DK, pulling him back, and all of a sudden this creep route isn't so beautiful anymore. All of a sudden you are facing level 2 wolves, and damage output by headhunters, we all know, is quite scary against fragile ghouls. 2 volleys and they're dead, and resummons the wolves before Labby gets the last hit. This is just very well played by Soin so far.
Yeah, super high level. He knew that he had enough mana to resummon them, so he was not spending a coil on this. Because he knew that the moment he throws the coil at one of the wolves, he will just resummon them in time. And for that reason, yeah, it's really hard. It's unnecessarily hard. Because imagine if he would be level 3, he would be just chasing that Farseer down with coil, so that maybe even forces a town portal if it goes really bad. He's just a couple XP short. Just a couple.
And he can't get it. Has to use the coil defensively now on the ghoul. Trying to get some surrounds in for that guaranteed kill. Then there's obviously the chance to get a deny, which he needs. Now, doesn't get it. And now we have the situation immediately as you described. Just throw the coils on the DK. Shocky coils, we call them. Or anti-coils at some point. Everything you click on dies.
Yeah, and it works beautifully. Now he can chase down the headhunters who he's killing already. I mean, he was fully engaging head-on to just get this first headhunter kill to unlock level 3 for him. And with that, the level 2. And all of a sudden, everything is just in shambles, as you can see right now for Soin. Losing headhunters, Farseer at risk of town portaling. He might be even able to kill that one. If he's not paying attention, there's yet another coil that he can use, and that will be the town portal. There you go! And he sees it in time to make the jump to his base and heal up again. In the meantime, he's taking tier 3. Shadowhunter is already there, healing everything now as he is like salving them up, and the bestiary is being constructed while tier 3 and the Lich comes for Labby.
It's pretty similar to yAwS, I feel. Soin has some good moments, some very good fights, and then he overstays his welcome, runs out of mana while he's being coiled and ghouls take over. Similar effect and similar position he's in now, even though it's only one base. Tier 3 Orc got a carry now. Hard.
Yes, indeed. But it's like such a fragile matchup, like both sides. Like you have headhunters and ghouls, super low HP units, and like the pendulum swings, right? You have level 2 Farseer, level 3 Farseer. All of a sudden, the wolves are just raining havoc on your ghouls, and then all of a sudden, with the level 3 on the DK and the level 2 coils with rot and ghouls just like jumping on top of your headhunters, everything just dies and explodes. So this is really delicate. Like it's a lot of micro, it's a lot of positioning yourself in the right spots at the right time on the map, knowing when to basically disengage and engage with your opponent, when to fight and not to fight in general, and having a longer game plan where this all comes together. Losing a ghoul here from Labby to the creep, which was a little unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, both players are basically continuing creeping, gathering some more experience for the second heroes while trying to get to tier 3 and then probably, going back at it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very timing based. I mean, Warcraft was always timing based, but the players are taking it to the extreme in the past couple of years. And if you're 5 seconds too late or 5 seconds too early, then misery hits. Shadowhunter creeps the red spot. That's sweet with more regen. But he needs the TC for CC. And he needs that big backline. For Labby, we should expect the Dark Ranger. It's just the perfect weapon against Headhunters alongside Coil Nova. We're a minute off, I guess, and there's still some juicy XP on the map. Labby with the flute. Decent, but not great. Big Invo potion, though. Fantastic on the orc side.
Yeah, Labby has to be cautious because he's losing a couple ghouls to creeps. He lost one before and lost one at the Goblin Laboratory. I mean, these are like tiny things and slip-ups can always happen, but in the end, if you're fighting, especially against the headhunters, you need to have a certain mass of ghouls so that you can just overcome that, and also can spare a few on the way, like when you engage into like an ranged army. So I think like it really comes down to having all of these ghouls and not losing unnecessary ghouls in the mid game, so that you have this really powerful punch when it comes to it. Now with the Dark Ranger, he's running towards the base, maybe trying to intercept and see what he can do here before tier 3 fully kicks in. We have the battle drums being updated and Berserker update coming. It's now putting some pressure on that unprotected Burrow. We have also the second attack upgrade already coming in for the Berserks, as well as the TC joining the army. So we have all the puzzle pieces there, according to my standard, for the Orc army. I
think so too, man. And that was a bit risky. No reinforced defenses, no big static defense in the Orc base. Instead, going for that second attack upgrade. That could have backfired if there's a destroyer upgrade. But Labby, a bit delayed in that regard. While Frenzy is done and the attack upgrade is done, destroyer wasn't. But he could still go for it, man. If someone doesn't shut the door, the burrows will fall.
Yeah, I mean, the TC is super important. Stopping the ghouls from like fully engaging and closing in on the headhunters. I mean, as much as level 1 stomp is just a nice to have, but you want that. And in the future, looking at like level 2, level 3 with the level 2 stomp, you become this kind of like really big force to reckon with, and also some where it really comes down to positioning. So we're gonna see that maybe in its full beauty, but now they're trying to engage here on a tinier camp. The ghouls are there to kill the Null Overseer. I think he lets go of that one for now. Lich is a third hero, or no, Dark Ranger was third hero. Lich with the second hero here, also with the Orb of Corruption now there. He has one Raider to actually catch statues. That is risky here, and he needs to be careful.
Going for the Lich. This time we have level 2 Chain Lightning. Storm, possible. Dodges it though. No follow-up, only now on the ghouls, who are very, very hurt. No heal scroll on Labby's side. That's dangerous. And of course that Lich is living a dangerous life as well. Needs a coil desperately to stay in this fight. TC shutting down the ghouls alongside the Chain Lightning for the second time. And Labby's army is falling apart. Can't be said the same about Soin, who's losing a Kodo. But if he gets that Lich coil last second, that could have been the end. Dark Ranger now in a forward position, intercepted by that Raider. Creeps are getting involved as well. Everything a little weird. But Labby, no TP. How do you run away from this?
Yeah, and as another player, you may ask yourself, like, okay, like, when Happy does this, it looks so easy. Like, he just engages and everything falls apart, but then I'm trying doing this and all of my ghouls just die in a split second, and yeah. I'm not so sure how this happens, but somehow there is a magic to it, and it doesn't come that easy.
Yeah, Happy does mysterious things, man. It's
oh, by the way, has silence instead of the Dark Arrow.
True. Yeah, that hurt. Not fighting with level 2 Nova and not fighting with Black Arrow significantly weakened Labby's ability, and Soin might not have the cleanest game overall and might not have the S tier level of like mind for the game, but his execution is top notch, and when this guy micros, it's a beauty, and we just saw that in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, he was also hesitating a little at the beginning of the fight, so I think the fight on the other hand from Soin was like so well executed, and now he rewards himself with yet another camp and a pendant of energy if he picks it up. Or maybe he just lets it there as a treasury. Oh no, he gets it. Nicely putting the TC almost in level 3, and with that the level 2 Stomp will come in. The level 2 Chain Lightning is already available. We have the level 2 also Healing Wave accessible for him. He sells the Scorch Bone Chimes, which just adds a little bit more resources to his bank account to maybe get a Scroll or an Invo Potion. Yeah, both have just been bought. While the Undead tries to catch up, like Labby needs some levels. I mean, he has the level 2 Nova now as well as the Black Arrow. Let's see if he can put it to good use.
He has a heal scroll as well. Wolves dispelled. Wonder if you maybe should stop summoning them and rather go for Chain Lightning. But there's also not too many targets for Chain Lightning. Wolves have quickly disappeared. We go into a lot of destroyers, but Labby doesn't want to get involved here anymore. So his entire game is coming together. The levels are amazing. Supply is fine. He gets the Wyvern out as a counter to destroyers alongside all these headhunters. And what's the chance for Labby? I think he has to go for a little bit of a Hail Mary on a hero, but which one?
I mean, a creep deck to start things off would be great.
True, especially against the rat spot.
Yeah, he's poking him. We see double crypt now. He's checking on expansions. Both of them are sending out the wolf, sending out the ghoul, checking if there's like a sneaky expansion next door neighbor just invading his space. They're trying to take a look at like what does the good positioning look like here. You don't want to storm into the TC with your ghouls. If you try to do that, that is just like setting yourself up for disaster. And that position would be sweet to fight here, like in that kind of like tight spots where you can just like stomp everything to the ground. Level 4 now for the Shadowhunter even.
Level 2 Hex, not the most meaningful, but the stats are of course nice. And how important these raiders are. Always catching one ghoul, maybe forcing a hero to be out of position. Labby kind of expects an expansion here because it was a stalling position for Soin. Could have been a play to expand behind it, but not greedy. Goes into army. TC, oh, being silenced. He was just in the air. Has to go for the Invo Potion to break the silence. And then it's just death to the ghouls, who find a connection for a little bit. Wyvern is falling too. But in the end, a little bit of stutter stepping on Soin's side. He eviscerates the underground army.
Yeah, no ground to stand on. He tries to get the first kind of like snowball going with like skeletons popping out. We have one now. The destroyers are in the middle of it now, being focused by the headhunters. These are flying XP tombs at this stage, and the DK doesn't have a town portal. There's more stomp where that one got from. The info potion gets exchanged, but not activated in time. DK dies, Dark Ranger dies, and with that, the hopes of this game, he might be getting the... No, he does not even get that Shadow Hunter.
Damn!
Yeah.
Full wipe!
Rough patch!
Indeed, rough patch indeed. Soin, man, showing the brilliance of his play with Fastia Headhunter in this matchup. Labby was able to contest a lot in the middle, especially with the timing of level 2 Coil Nova, but once the Orc heroes were there, Labby wasn't there anymore. Jesus, that was a stomp if I ever saw one.
Yeah. I think he needs to nail down a couple pieces of that match plan. It seems like either it was just like, I don't know, like some bad timings, or like sometimes you commit to situations you don't want to find yourself in. Fair enough. But he needs to take like he needs to improve on a couple details, like when to engage, when not to engage, save a couple of these ghouls early on that he also lost to creeps. And yeah, I mean, after all, he was fully engaging. Remember when he was hitting level 3 DK all of a sudden, and then like just like running over him, killing so many headhunters. That was a good moment. But I think this is also the most powerful move that you have. Like in that segment of the game, afterwards you just conclude to creeping. And if you don't bring that Lich to level 3 fast enough, and if you're also taking a fight against the level 1 TC without the arrow, I feel that is just hard. Yeah, I think analyzing a couple of happy replays on how he really takes these tiny fights, what are specific timings, when to dodge, when to engage. Not to give him like any kind of coaching, but I think there are nuances where he is just wrong, or just like missing a couple of these hints. Other than that, the creativity is there, right? He has all the execution, he's capable of that, and he should be able to overcome Soin, as we have seen on map number 1.
Yeah, he's very good when he has an expansion, as we saw on Echo Isles. The way to get these expansions up was always a strong suit of his, whether it be against Night Elf or Orc, or of course against Human. But in the fights, he's kind of missing a step, especially against someone of the capabilities of a Soin. And timings were a little bit off as well. But that was also Soin's map choice, so he knew he has the most advantages on this map. Now it's map choice Labby, and I wonder how different this game will look.
I mean, he's asking if he can pick Echoids again. I like the cheeky play here. Just see how much he can bend the rules.
Nice! That's something we rarely see from Asian Warcraft players.
Yeah.
But it was stated in the map selection by the admin, so...
Okay, yeah, he didn't remove it, but I like it. Like, if someone doesn't tell me that there's like some limitations, I will see how far that can go.
True. You have to exploit every
Northern
advantage that's given to
Northern
you.
Isles is going to be. How do you like that as a map?
It's a wonderful map. We've seen it for quite some time, like over a decade, I guess, so it gets a bit old by now. But I think it's close to...
Like it's 2010 again. I see Czechis and now I see Daniel in chat.
Yeah.
I feel like I should really get going.
It
seems to be back from school.
It sounds like it, right? Maybe you guys reconnect at Raraland in August?
Yeah, I still have to ask the wife at the right point. It's really about timing, as it is in Warcraft, you know? The timing is everything.
Should I give you a Fleurop voucher for that timing?
That could help, but that could also be depending on the flower choices you make.
You choose. I just give you the voucher. You choose.
Ah, I see. Yeah, my wife is a delicate flower, you know. It's dependent on the day and the hour and the situation, the way you put it out. And
you
then
were always
question.
You were always great at finding timings in the game and probably in real life as well. You'll figure it out.
I had at least 10,000 games trying to find timings, so.
Well, you are together for quite a long time as well, so you got expertise in that regard.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, shall I clip that and ship it to her?
No, please. If we have the discount code for Fleurop, that would help.
Okay. Would also help if we join the game. We're up Northern Isles Decider. If Soin wins, Happy's team wins the match. It's gonna be 3-0 prior to the 2-2s. And if Labby wins, then that's the first win for Team Kaho in the one-on-one department, which I guess they need, as I would say that 2-2 isn't that crazy, but we'll see about that. Is it an expansion?
Has its own rules.
That's
in
true.
this case, probably an expansion play, right? I mean, you're hyping up the guy, the mad scientist here, who likes to run expansions. If there's a map that is designed for this, this could be this one. I think the expansion is fairly easy to creep. It calls for Dreadlord. I've seen other people using different heroes here that you can also be used. On the other side, it's probably Farseer. There you go. So we have a Farseer coming up. That worked way better in game number 2 versus game number 1 with the Blade Master. As much as that was like the late game savior, it didn't really work earlier. With a DK coming out for Labby, not meaning that there's not an expansion, but definitely making it way harder to set one up. So let's see.
Yeah, that is pretty much impossible, I'd say, against the Farseer. To expand this early, Labby knows this as well. From Soin's perspective, never changed the running system, right? It was very dominant on the last map, so why go back to Blade, even though that is quite entertaining. So it will be about creeping, and it will be quite some skirmishes in the middle, but late game is what we aim for.
So crazy. The other day I thought about like how beautiful it was back in the day, having like these different like servers and ladders, and then you make your way over to Kalimdor to just play like couple average players on a 300 ping, and that was the sweetest teenage dream. It's like, oh, you're gonna play against Koreans. And now we are all playing on W3 champions and having that over here. But it removes some of that nostalgia and that greatness of back in the day. So I just had that the other day and wanted to share this as we are going through these low stages of no action in the game. Creeping continues or actually starts to see if they can close in on level 2 real quick.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't miss the day of Battle.net and G Arena as...
Dude, this is the fastest clan war I've ever seen. Like, I'm joining games left, right, and center. There's like 5-second downtimes before the next game starts. I remember WNV, a beautiful clan back in the day.
V Bad Girl,
right?
V Bad Girl.
V Bad Girl.
I had beautiful moments with V Bad Girl. A clan war started 90 minutes late because she was apparently taking a bath, and then she sent a picture in her bathrobe. Great.
Yeah.
That was
as proof, of course. Not for like thirsty boys, but as proof.
yeah, that was pretty much exactly how it was. Every WNV clan war, 9 hours plus. I mean, it would be good content, like stalling on Twitch.
Hey, they had the coolest orc player. Just to close this in, they had Chao T.
Oh,
that kid was out of this world. It's like the sock of the old age. Like that kid was like had so much swag.
I never met him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I only got to see him once, but dude, that guy was in love. Let's see what else is love. LabyRinth closing in on level 2, using his rod quite frequently, and on the other side we see the Orga Magi being killed with the Farseer now closing in on level 3 as well. It will not be enough for either of them. Call of the Beast, that can be quite nice with Headhunters. Labby is clearing his expansion in case he wants to set something up with a crazy stage, but for now it's all about experience.
Yeah, that would be half a death sentence. It is the race to level 3. It is on. And yeah, you're right, Scroll the Beast. We will not be able to dispel that for a very, very, very long time. Could either help with creeping or fighting. This time, Labby's ghoul rotation seems to be a bit better than it was before on Tidehunters, and I'm quite surprised that Soin is taking it so slow. Usually Farseer, a space creator, puts a dent into the undead play early on, but no, very pacifist game so far.
Yeah, I mean, he was just losing a couple of Headhunters, right? And if you position yourself on the middle of the map, especially in the timing that is about to come, there will be tier 2. There's the chance of a Dark Ranger appearing from the middle, all of a sudden ghouls being onto your Headhunters. This time he's like overly cautious, I would say. Like his Headhunters are in his far base. Farseer is the only unit on the map, trying to find them basically and see what he can do with the level 2 wolves. He also has the scouting from the crystal ball. I by the way really like the change that it now has like certain amount of uses versus the other one. And now Labby tries to steal from Soin's side, and then we'll get the Orga Magi with the second call, so it's not falling into the range of the chain line.
That's right, very well done. Mana management good on both sides. I mean, Soin saw what Happy did to Headhunters in the Terrana stand game, so he doesn't want to fall into the same trap. Ghouls pulling back now after doing a little bit of damage, because experience is extremely important. You mentioned it at the beginning of the series, how nice the late game Orc vs Undead is with all the hero interactions, but for that you need levels, and we saw that also in the game prior, but Labby's levels weren't there, and he's taking measures to level the playing field.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, now it's more on the mana management, if you want to call this. It's like one of the hidden arts that you perform at the highest level of this game, where you just be very cautious with what you spend, because it becomes this powerful resource. This
I
time we can
remember
also
that when we
dark
were in
mode.
China, that was the one thing you mentioned immediately after like day 1. Dude, the Chinese are so different when it comes to mana management.
Yeah. I mean, it was back in the day, right? It was like 2015. This was the meta was evolving around this, but this was really some of the differentiating factors. Was like the tiniest thing that you can change in order to get like the upper hand. And mana is such an important tool here. But yeah, I mean, who am I kidding? Like Undead especially knows this for ages. I mean, for me, I was just like clapping things left, right, and center and having fun with it. Or throwing a bolt to someone's face, but at some stage you really need to be cautious about this, because yeah, it can be a resource that really changes the battlefield. We see the Shadowhunter now using the first hex here on the Tuskar, closing in on level 2 after this camp already, so getting some nice experience right off the bat, as well as a Peer of the Fatality. That is always coming in handy on the Shadowhunter. Such a fragile hero as well, being agility and not coming with a high base HP, so I feel like this is a really cool item to have, and level 3 will be crucial for him.
I mean, he can heal himself, right? So that's just fair. If he's a little squishier than others.
Can he steal the measure? No, he's not even willing to put himself there. Dark Ranger coming out as a second hero. What are you thinking about the Dark Ranger being second or third? Like, how does this influence the Undead game plan from your standpoint?
It's always a bit weird, because you saw how impactful it was in the hands of Happy on Terranas. But usually orcs wouldn't run into a Dark Ranger meat grinder like that. It is creating a lot of space, because you don't want to fight for a long time until you have some countermeasures against her. So if you pick the Dark Ranger, you're left alone for quite some time, and it buys you some space. But obviously, as good as Black Arrow and Skeletons is, you want Nova level 2. And the Dark Ranger automatically delays that. So it is definitely a choice with a lot of pros and cons.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's about playstyle, I feel, and the pace of the game that you would like to enter, or it's sometimes like also creating like, I don't know, like basically space, so that you can do whatever you want to do. And the Shadowhunter is now regaining mana. It was basically burning through his mana just by creeping, and this is what we talked about. It's really important to be cautious about these things, because if you cannot engage into fights, if you're one of the powerful heroes you have on your squad, it's basically out of juice. TC is also coming now from the tavern, or the altar. That will take some time before he joins the forces. Kodo is out, battle drums are kicking in. Do we see attack upgrades yet? Yeah, first attack upgrade also there. So a nice boost from the drums and the first attack upgrade. And yeah, you see LabyRinth taking a backseat and also creeping, extending his experience on both of his heroes, not prioritizing any in particular.
Yeah, the battle drums have been upgraded too. We look at the inventory of the undead, and that's a beauty. Nice little chain lightning. Heal scroll, invo potion, shop control, super important, as there is only one shop here. But the Lich Man will get quite some gifts from the DK. Here's the rope, here's the mantle, here's the damage. Let's go. Frenzy is ready. Destroyers are ready. I think Labby is getting close to ready, especially if he gets that Dark Ranger up to 3.
Yeah, I'm contemplating. He could have gotten that from the laboratory. It would have been level 3, and then he had it like 3-3-1. Now he is like almost 4, almost 3. It doesn't give you anything. I'm not sure if that was the right prioritization. He has the heal scroll and the invo potion to keep his heroes alive. Doesn't have a town portal, and he's engaging. And there's no... Oh, he's taking the learning from map number 2, where he also had no reinforced defenses, is killing that Burrow. That comes in handy. And now he finds himself in a way better position, I feel. But I'm saying this, and the CC just stops time for all the good.
That's right, Chain Lightning on top of things. Static defense of the Orc base doesn't really hit, but Shop Axis is of course magnificent here. Coil Nova flying left and right. He's still fighting without the Dark Ranger 3, which might be a liability, but Lich under fire. TC still has Storms. Could get the DK, and it is. No Coil at the moment, but the Destroyer still safe. And Soin, I'm not too sure if this is enough. Gets the Destroyer now finally, but second and third heroes both hurt.
Yeah, so be careful to not lose his heroes. Now use the mana potion to actually get that back. In the meantime, he is also killing a headhunter that was pulled to the far back of the base, so he's making sure that there's no more headhunter alive. The destroyer is still being ensnared. I like the raider and the play, and we see the lightning orb also doing some work with all of the claws of attack on the Farseer. who's quite packing a punch here. Dark Ranger, in the meantime, trying to get some more skeletons on the map. We see that the one Headhunter gets back to the base safely. That Raider is probably going to fall now. He survives as well, but he doesn't have reinforced defenses, so he cannot really fall back into his base, or all of his burrows will be dead. Trying to get some more mana on the Shadow Hunter for yet another heal wave to put everything back into the orange. And let's see how they come actually back from here. LabyRinth with a couple losses. Also on the other side, Soin being put on the spot.
That's right. Labby is running out of units and Soin is running out of mana. Of course, we have statues on the undead side, so that won't happen there. But he still has to recover. Got the levels now. Lich is still powerful. But Soin wasn't really supply stuck, right? He had that 5th burrow up already, so was able to
replenish. It was coming back mid-fight.
Yeah, that super important. If he's not able to rebuild units in that fight and get reinforcements, he's pretty much dead.
I think if he would have started that fight with the level 3 Dark Ranger, I would have probably played a role here, but let's see how they come back together. Now mana becomes an issue for the DK. He has 1 more coil or 2 more. He, instead of saving, wants to go on the offensive, tries to kill 2 headhunters, succeeds in doing so. That was a pretty nice stomp, keeping everything stunned for a second. But now also Soin wants to disengage and get out of here with the Kodo. Keep in mind that Farseer is hitting for 60 damage a hit. Another offensive coil to kill the last remaining Raider on the squad. Or no, there's actually 1 more. That's also free mana now for the Lich that can use that for Dark Ritual.
Yeah, that's such a nice synergy.
And he's setting up an expansion. Look at this.
Ow! But the Wolf scouts it immediately. Well done by Soin. These guys must know each other inside out. They play WSB against each other. They play every tournament against each other, basically, and on ladder. So, nice awareness that this is the plan. Farseer is getting close to an important level up with level 2 Chain Lightning. That was missing from the fights. And for Labby, the big level ups are quite far away. But they will be brawling over this red spot, I feel.
Yeah, bring himself into a good position here to actually take a look at what's happening for just exchanging or transforming the second destroyer here to take a look and go from the other side, sending an illusion from the top side. Now let's see what they want to do here. Raiders can be killed quite easily with ghouls and also the heroes.
Ooh, yeah, he was a bit too far forward.
Nice chain lightning on 1 ghoul, electrocuting him on the spot.
It didn't jump, right? I think there's
a
bug where...
to bounce to.
Yeah, I think there's a bug where if you are not in the line of sight, Chain Lightning doesn't bounce.
That I'm not sure of, but could be, yeah.
Pretty much 50-50 here. Labby is breaking upkeep, letting go of the expansion plans, feeding some small XP with skeletons always, but same is the case with wolves. I feel like it comes down to the next fight here.
Yeah, maybe setting up a tower with reinforced defenses on the left side would be great for Soin. I'm not sure if that's really a play, right? But you would threaten that you want to expand at some point. You have like an investment for the tower on low upkeep, but he wouldn't need reinforced defenses. He rather goes for the 3rd attack upgrade, putting some more emphasis on the headhunters together with the aura from the Kodo. I mean, plus 30 damage on the Farseer yet alone from the items and the aura. That's quite nice. We see the Dark Ranger trying to pull the camp here. Some more experience.
The wolf again is threatening the acolyte at the natural expansion of Labby, so doubling down on that scout. I like that a ton.
Oh, now he gets the red bow for free.
Oh, will he be caught? There's no TP. Everything will be hurt to a degree. Item was on battle drums, Coil Nova flying, Wyvern out, Chain Lightning hitting hard. Mana is available on Soin's side, but he was silenced at a very crucial time. He loses another Headhunter. Kodo needs that healing. Also damage mitigation via Storm. Ghouls need to reposition. Gets that Kodo eventually. Level 4, and Labby is taking a brilliant fight.
Yeah, Shadowhunter is threatened now, being healed, but still silenced. Cannot use the heal wave despite having so much mana. And it feels like that was a super powerful fight for LabyRinth. Now closing in also on level 5 of the DK, level 3 Lich finally on the map, which with the level 2 Nova and then the Dark Arrow is quite a force against the Headhunters. He's replenishing everything now with the heal wave, getting some more mana on the Farseer, but it's a super strong 52 supply from LabyRinth against only the 42 from Soin.
And there's still mana, and there's still statues, and there's no real solution to that. Skeletons are getting rid of all the headhunters. Level 5 on the DK is of course a treat. You wanted to nuke the Shadow Hunter before, that didn't work. Now you get a powerful level 3 spell on top of that. There's still no reinforced defenses. Soin forced against his back of his own base while Labby is constantly threatening an expansion. I feel like he got that game in the bag if Soin is not coming out with a miraculous fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough because he has dwindling numbers. He doesn't really have much that can fight back, and there for that reason he calls GG.
And that's the first point for Team Kaho. Stays in the race. 2-1 advantage for Team Happy after the one-on-ones. Very, very important victory for Lawlight, making the difference here against Kaho. But it's still everybody's game to take. Now Team Kaho needs to win the 2-on-2s and they get the point.